Okay, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to empty the trash can from the command line. So let's get started. Okay, so let's start off by opening up a file browser, and I'm using Nautilus here, and just go into the rubbish bin. Now yours will probably be called trash can or wastebasket, rubbish bin maybe. It all depends on where you are in the world. It's just a regional thing. So probably the first logical thing would be to work out where the directory is that stores our trash. So I'm just going to open up a terminal, and I'll just make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so just make sure that you are in your home directory, which I am. So there you go, there's my home directory. Just going to clear that. So let's just have a quick look at the trash directory. So what we need to do is cd into .local /share and /trash with a capital T. And as you can see, I can't actually cd into that because it doesn't exist yet. So that's something to note about the trash directory, and that is it is created the first time that you actually put something into the trash. So if you've got a fresh install of a Linux OS, you probably don't have a trash directory yet. So it's only created when you throw something in there. So let me just cd over to the desktop and create a file. So I'm just going to touch file.txt. And as you can see, it's here on my desktop. So I'm going to send that into the rubbish bin. So move to rubbish bin. And as you can see over here, it's in the rubbish bin. And you've got the swollen rubbish bin icon to indicate that something is in there. So now if we just cd back into our home directory and try to cd into .local share and trash with a capital T, you'll see we can do that now, and it actually exists. So let's have a look at what's inside of it. So if we just ls, you can see we've got two directories. One of them is called files and one is info. So if we cd into the files directory and ls, you can see that it actually contains our file that we've thrown into the trash. So the files directory within our trash actually contains the actual files that we've thrown into the trash. So let's just cd into the info directory and see what's in there. So I'm just going to clear the screen quickly, and if we ls, we've got a file in there called file.txt, which is the file name of the file that we threw into the trash, and it's got another extension which is .trashinfo. So let's just run file on that and see what that actually is, and it's just an ASCII text file, so we can cat that. So cat file.txt.trashinfo and hit enter, and you can see that this file just contains 3 lines. So the first line indicates that this is a trash info file, and then we've got these 2 key value pairs underneath. So we've got path and deletion date, and the value for path is the original file path for the file that we've just thrown in the trash, so where it was deleted from, and the deletion date holds the time that the file was actually deleted. So this path would actually be useful if we wanted to restore this item from the trash, so it knows where to put it when we restore it. So I'm just going to cd back into my home directory, and I'm just going to show you how to actually remove your trash from the command line. Okay, so as we know, the trash directory gets created, if it doesn't already exist, when we try and throw something in the trash. So we can actually safely just delete that directory. So to do that, make sure you're in your home directory, and if we rm tac rf .local /share /trash with a capital T and hit enter. So as you can see by the rubbish bin in Nautilus, our file has been deleted as a consequence of us deleting our trash directory. So I'm just going to cd back up to my desktop and create another file and then send it to the trash. So file.txt, and let's just move that into the trash so that we can create a new trash directory. Now there's sometimes a third directory within your trash directory called expunged, and that holds files that could not be permanently deleted. Now one reason for this could be that a directory that was sent to the trash actually contains other directories that are owned by another user that is not you. So I'm actually going to create a directory structure that will generate an expunge directory, so you can see what that actually does. This will all make sense once I do it. So I'm just going to stay on the desktop, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a directory, and I'm going to use the parent option for make dir, and I'm just going to say, let's just call it test, and we'll create an inner directory, so inner dir, and hit enter. And now I'm going to change the ownership of the inner directory, so I'm going to use sudo to do this, and I'm going to change it to, so change ownership, and we're going to make root own this, so test/inner. Just enter my password, and I'm also going to change the group as well, so change group, grp, again root and test inner directory. And I'm also just going to create a file within our inner directory that is also owned by root, so sudo touch, test/inner directory / and I'll call it test file.txt. There we go. So now let's just do a quick ls-l so that we can see our top test directory, which is the one on the desktop, and it's owned by me. And let's just have a look at the directory inside that. So we're going to do an ls-l capital R and on test. So as you can see, the inner directory is owned by root and is in the root group, and the test file is also owned by root and within the root group. So let's just send this test file to the trash. So move to trash. So we could do that because we owned the test directory ourselves. And now let's try and empty it. So we're going to empty, just using Nautilus, we're just going to empty the trash directory. So empty. And yes, I want to permanently delete those. And it looks like they're gone. So let me just clear the screen and let's just have a look at our trash directory now. So cd home, and I'm going to cd into .local. Actually, let me just show you that I am in my home directory. So there you go. And we're just going to cd into .local share trash, and let's just ls now. So as you can see, we now have a third directory which is called expunged. So let's have a look at what's in there. So cd expunged, and we're going to ls, and we've got this new directory. So let's cd into that. So cd 1 tab, and we're going to ls. And it looks like we've got that inner directory that we created earlier. So let's cd into that and ls. And we've got our test file that we created. And this is the test file that has that is owned by root. So we'll ls-l just to show you that. As you can see, it's owned by root. So as you can see in Nautilus, it looks like those files had actually been removed, but after we checked, we can see that they actually haven't been removed. So they're still occupying space within our file system. So I'm just going to cd home and just clear the screen. Let's try and remove our trash directory now. So rm tac rf .local /share and trash, and hit enter. As you can see, permission denied. We don't actually have permission to remove these this directory in this file, because they're not owned by us, they're owned by root. So in this case, to actually clear our trash, what we would have to do is we would have to either do it as root, or we can just use sudo and apply that to our previous command. So if I'll just type it out fully. I could do it with sudo bang bang, which will apply sudo to our previous command, but I'll just write it out so it's clear. So rm tac rf .local share and trash, hit enter. So now if we try and cd into our .local share trash directory, it doesn't exist. So we've actually successfully removed it. And just to make sure that we haven't messed anything up, I'm going to cd over into my desktop and create a new file. I'll just call it file, and move that to the trash. and the trash seems to be working fine. We can empty that. Yeah, let's just empty. Let's just try and cd /dot share trash. And as you can see, we have our trash directory back and everything seems to be working great. Okay, so while we're talking about trash cans and rubbish bins, you can avoid sending files to the trash by holding down Shift while pressing delete. So I'm just going to create a file just to demonstrate that. We'll call it file.txt. And make sure it's selected. Hold down Shift and press delete. And you get a warning saying, are you sure you want to permanently delete the name of the file? Just press delete. And as you can see, it's totally avoided our trash can. Alternatively, if you are running a server and you want trash on the command line, so you want the same kind of functionality as having a trash can, check out the tutorial I did on trash-CLI, which is a pretty cool tool that basically gives you trash can-like functionality on the command line. Okay, so that's brought us to the end of this tutorial. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe. You can also follow Linux Leech on Facebook, Twitter and Google+. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.